right, thanks, Luke. Woo! Thank y'all for coming. It's been a long, crazy day, hasn't it? So I want you guys all to really get the most out of this last talk, because I really think it's gonna fill in all the gaps from everything else from today and really bring it together. So I want everyone to get a little bit of energy. Can you guys all stand up for 1 second? And I want to give you guys 3 high fives to your neighbors. Go. 1, 2, 3, and then shake it off. Shake it off, guys. Shake it off. Woo! All right. So now that we're pumped up, I want you guys to be pumped up to make more money and create more income. You guys can sit down. If you need to shake it off and more, do some seat high fives, you're welcome to. You can do whatever you want. But I think one of the things that has been stopping a lot of people from getting to the next level or making more money is because internally we're like, well, we don't really need to make more money. We're comfortable where we are, or we don't want change. And for me, I actually got stuck in this, in kind of this slum for a long time. Not just like recently in my life, but really throughout my life. And today's talk is going to be about why it's so important to level up our income, because it's not just for us. It really is for, everyone else. So, it's cool being able to fly to the Canary Islands and spend the summer there because your friends are there. And it sucked when I was too broke to leave Chiang Mai, even though I love Chiang Mai, but I really wanted to spend time with people I love and I care about, and they might be in Europe for the summer. I flew to Taiwan to go to my cousin's wedding, which is already very nice, but because I'm making more money, because they wanted to come to Thailand for their honeymoon, I was able to pay for their honeymoon. I've always wanted to go, to a Tony Robbins event. Who here is a Tony Robbins fan, by the way? Woo! I watched his documentary, I'm Not Your Guru, on Netflix, and I was like, I really want to go to this. And I never thought I would be able to afford it. It was $5,000, it's 6 days, I had to fly to Florida and get an expensive hotel room that was another $1,000. And I was like, there's no way I can afford it. But I'm so glad I went, because not only, it's literally made me a better person, and I really believe that if everyone in the world went to a Tony Robbins event, especially Date with Destiny, the world would be a better place. And it's expensive, but it's worth it. And it allows me to, be able to create more events like this and be able to be more vulnerable, more authentic with people, and just more open and get, past, all the insecurities, that I grew up with and all the fears I've ever had. And if you guys watched my talk from last year, or if you guys were here, you guys would know that one of my big goals was to be able to retire my parents and then be able to give them some money every month and pay things like their property tax. And I'm really, really happy that not only did I get to spend, a lot of quality time with them by, taking them on vacation to LA and taking them to the Magic Castle, which has always been my mom's dream because she loves magic, but I've been able to give them enough money where they don't have to work anymore. And last year alone, I was able to give them $20,000. And that's something I never dreamed I'd be able to do, because I always kind of just thought that would be impossible to be able to even, fathom that amount. And now my goals, are growing and growing because of what I'm going to be talking about today. And this is why I chose this talk today, is we're almost always going to be in one of these 3 sections. So just kind of raise their hands so I know who's in the audience. Who here is kind of just starting out or hasn't had that much success yet? All right, congratulations for coming, thank you. Who here, is doing okay? You're making like $1,000 a month, or maybe even 3,000, but you're kind of stuck to get to that big level, to the 6-figure level or higher level, right? And who here is actually doing pretty well? Like, who here is making, $5,000 or $10,000 a month, but you are just working all the fucking time and you can't get yourself out of that business and you can't scale it up, all right? And that's kind of what Derek was talking about in his talk, is getting to that really next big level. But I really want to start with helping the people in the first two categories before we jump to that third, is because I don't want anybody leaving this conference without a very clear path on how to add at least one additional stream of income. You guys want to learn that? All right, because multiple streams of income, especially passive income or online income, really is the best thing in the world. If nothing else, it just gives you so much just freedom and security, knowing that if Amazon kicks you off your platform, or if Facebook kicks you off your platform or something, that you have another stream of income to rely on. It just makes your life a million times better and allows you to just live a better, more fulfilled life. So my journey, as some of you may know, started really in 2013 when my goal was to make $600 a month so I can live in Chiang Mai for the rest of my life. That's about 20,000 baht. Actually, today is 19,000. And to me, I was like, if I can make this, I'm done. I'm living here. I'm living the dream. And I literally wrote a book called 12 Weeks in Thailand, The Good Life on the Cheap. Woo! And that book was all about how to live a great life and follow your passions for a very cheap budget. So for $600 a month, I was doing Muay Thai full time. I was scuba diving the best places in Thailand, and I was very happy until I wasn't. And I don't want to discourage anyone from going that path because I was so happy I did it. I got to go scuba diving in Koh Tao every day, and then I moved to Koh Lanta and Koh Phi Phi, and it's beautiful. But then I met this old British guy named Dave. And Dave was grumpy. He was living on a beautiful tropical island, and he was grumpy. And every morning, I'd be like, hey, good morning, Dave, how you doing? He'd be like, I don't know why British people talk like that, but I can't understand it. And he was just so unhappy all the time. He was always negative, and I was like, what the is wrong with you? And it turns out, he was probably really excited and really passionate about scuba diving and living on this tropical island for a long time until he wasn't. But he was stuck because he had no online skills, he had no online business, he didn't have that second stream of income. He just had his dive master, actually he was an instructor, he had his scuba instructor income, which isn't that high, it's maybe $1,000 a month in Thailand, which is enough to live here, but you can't really travel, you can't save, you can't move to Norway. You can't really go anywhere else besides where it's really cheap. And I started feeling that too. I started becoming a grumpy old British guy. And I was like, nope, I'm not doing that. I got to figure out how to get to the next level. So for my path, it was with dropshipping. And with yours, it might be something completely different. It might be Amazon FBA. It might be a service-based business like Viola is going to teach you guys how to do, or I taught you in her talk. It could be really anything. But my next goal was, I was like, if I can get to $30,000 in net worth, and I'm starting at almost nothing, if I can do that, that's a Thai million baht. I can be a Thai millionaire. And in my mind, it was like such a reach, because I don't know, you don't have to raise your hands, but if anyone here has a total net worth of less than $1,000, it's a struggle to think it'll ever be $30,000. It's just unfathomable. But to me, if I had $30,000, I know not only would I be able to live in Thailand for the rest of my life, even if I couldn't dive anymore, I couldn't do Muay Thai anymore, or I was just stuck. It was enough of a buffer where I knew that would allow me the security to take that next step. And I wrote about that in my second book called Life Changes Quick. And what's funny is, as soon as I hit that $30,000 goal, I went out and bought this watch, this gold watch. To me, it symbolized, kind of like in the US when you retire and they give you this gold watch and they're like, here you go, you're done. And what's crazy is, even though now I'm more than halfway to my third goal of $1 million net worth, I never bought a new watch. I was just like, no, I love this is fine. But here's the thing. I've never actually showed anyone this, but this is me competing for 5,000 baht, which is 150 bucks, and getting punched in the face over and over and over. And kneed in the gut, kicked, elbowed, kicked again, punched again. And let me remind you, this is for $150. And that was a flying elbow. I don't know if any of you guys are broke enough, but if anyone wants to come up and let me flying elbow you, I will happily give you 5,000 baht. No takers? All right, so I know where you guys are at if you're just starting out. And here's kind of the one big key word that was keeping me stuck, the one word I didn't really understand, and that's value. So you guys might be thinking, like, what is value? Really, it's really simple. It's something that people are willing to pay you for, because money, or Bitcoin nowadays, is the ultimate store of value. And if the more value you give someone, the more currency they're willing to give you in return. And that is kind of that big trade-off, and that's why people are successful as they are today, all the speakers, is because they're exchanging value. But this is also what gets people stuck. This is also what gets people to never even get started. Because there's really two mindsets. One on one side is, I just want to make money, I don't care what the hell I'm selling, just give me that money now. On the other side, you have people that overthink the value and say, no, I don't want to do this because it's not making a difference in the world, it's not a big sustainable business, it's not XYZ. And then they never get started. And both people are stuck. And here's the secret to get you guys unstuck, is when it comes to value, it doesn't need to be this quantum leap in the beginning, as Derek talked about. If you're just trying to make your first $10,000 a month from a business, it doesn't need to be life-changing. You don't need to get a patent or a trademark for something. You can just create slightly more value. And what do I mean by that? I mean, you could sell something like this. What the hell is this? And how much is it worth? I don't know either. But these things are available for 67 cents on a place called AliExpress. Now, I want you guys to do a thought experiment. If you were going to sell this, how can you add slightly more value to this product to make it be worth more than 67 cents? You can have more photos, maybe some lifestyle photos actually showing what it does. You can change the headline, so instead of this long rambly thing, it just says what the benefit of the product is. You can have some nice description with some bullet points explaining the features and benefits, how it can help you. You can, you can buy a bunch of these and import them into either an Amazon FBA warehouse or another private warehouse or whatever it is, so people don't have to wait 30 to 50 days for shipping, which is 2 months. All right? You can buy a bunch of these and give them away in exchange for reviews or testimonials, and you can make a site that looks like this. Pretty simple. You can go on Shopify, use a free trial, and you can take some nice lifestyle photos, you can add that headline, you can make it easier to buy, and you can just increase the value of the product. Now, I know this is true because just like a few months ago, I was on AliExpress and just scrolling through it thinking like, oh, maybe I should buy some stuff before I head back to the US. It's gonna take a month or two to get there, but I'm in no rush. So I'm scrolling through, and I think this was actually during Black Friday where it was 20% cheaper. So instead of 67 cents, it would have been like 48 cents. Ooh, that's value. But there was literally nothing I wanted on all of AliExpress. And they have like millions of products. Has anyone ever actually been to that site and just started scrolling around for things to buy? All right. Most things suck. Most things are like that little pink thing that we saw. We're like, what is this? I don't want that. All right. But at the same time, just the other day, I'm scrolling through my Instagram feed, and I see there's a video showing this really cool product, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. What is this? And I was like, oh, it covers up your, weird things that you want to hide. And that was literally that moment right there where at first I was like, you know what, this is cool, but I can cover up my mailing address and things like that. But I was like, I don't really need it. I can just tear it up or shred it. But then I saw them covering up that pill bottle. I was like, oh, If I had some like weird foot fungus or something, and I didn't want people knowing about it when they go through my cupboards in my bathroom, which I know some of you do, I could just cover it up with this little privacy thing. And it won't look as shady as me just like tearing the label off, because that really looks like I'm hiding something. Right? And I was so intrigued by this, not that I even have a foot fungus yet, knock on wood, that I actually clicked on the ad and I looked through it and I was like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. $15? Yeah, maybe I'll pay for that. And not just with, anti-foot fungus confidential stamps, but with really every business out there, they all kind of do the same thing. Right? They offer the same thing. They add some kind of value, whether it's creating good products, giving you knowledge, passing things down, or even just organizing knowledge or value into something. And I want to give you guys another example. Books, okay? Personally, I think books are one of the most valuable things in the world. Who here has gotten significantly more value than the price of a book? All right, so for $15 or $20, I've literally gotten 4 years or sometimes even 40 years of someone's knowledge and experiences, their failures or lessons, all condensed into usually a pretty interesting, easy to read book. To me, that is value. And here's the thing, is it doesn't need to be one of those crazy books. Actually, do you guys know what the best-selling book of all time is? The Bible. And what is that? It's a collection of stories. And this is a collection of quotes. And this is an actual book that sells, is that this person is actually creating something of value, even though they can still outsource the cover, they can outsource the collection of the quotes, they can outsource the publishing and the distribution to Amazon. And that little tiny difference is why this person is making thousands of dollars with one book, while my friends who's making $20 a month is making $20 from his one book. And the only difference is when you read the reviews on this one, people actually really like the book. And this is a mentality a lot of people starting out or stuck have, is we're like, how can I just start making money? Oh, I heard Amazon Kindle makes money publishing. I heard dropshipping makes money. I heard Amazon FBA makes money. What's the best business model of 2018 to make money? That's what we think about because we're just starting out, we're struggling, we're like, we need to be able to continue living in Thailand and pay our $200 a month apartment. And the whole point of today's talk is try to get us to that next level of thinking, what can I do to not only make myself a couple $100 a month now or $1,000 a month now, but have that money continue to come in for not only months, but years and years and years. And with my Kindle book, I've literally written them now like 5 years ago, and every month I still get a check for $100 or $200 from it, just from that 1 or 2 books, because it's actually a well-written book that people like. When you read the reviews, most people, I mean, I'm sure some people hate me, but most people love the book. They're like, I got a lot of value from this book. And you might be thinking, okay, well, that sounds great, but Johnny, you had all these great experiences in Thailand, and you shared it in a book. Of course, people buy it. Or this book's probably looks nice. It's probably really well edited. It probably has like custom illustrations in there. Maybe that author actually went and interviewed the people that said those quotes. It was really inspirational. They must have been doing something really special. So I downloaded the book because I was curious. It's not. It's literally 128 pages of this. But here's the thing, is if you read the reviews or you ask anyone who bought the book, they're like, I really liked it. I liked the formatting. I liked that it was 365 quotes, so every day I can read one new quote. I liked, the curation of it, the selection of the quotes. I like the order. I like, all these things. And that's the difference between them and someone like this is like, yeah, making my money now, go home. And this is the big difference between people who get stuck making a couple $100 a month or maybe 1,000 or 2,000 a month, and then eventually that income stream dries out, and then we have to go through that grind again to that next hot business model of 2019 or 2020. So here is the second big point. The first was we have to create value, but to get to that next big level, to get from making a couple thousand a month to $10,000, $30,000 to $50,000 a month or more, this is what we need to focus on, is increasing ROI. And not from our point of view. I think, how many people here, when they saw this, they're like, okay, we need better conversion rates, we need to make our return on investment higher on what we're spending. And that's because we are all egocentric when we think about ourselves. When we think about our business, we're like, yeah, how can I make more money? The big paradigm shift was when I started thinking, how can I increase the ROI for others, for my customers, or the people who are giving me money? If I can really focus on, on increasing their ROI, they are very happy to give me more money. Imagine that. Imagine if you can buy something for $1,000 and you're going to get a positive ROI from it and you're going to get $1,500 back. What rational person wouldn't do that? And this isn't just with e-commerce. This isn't just with like a Kindle publishing business or selling on eBay or Shopify or Amazon, whatever it is. It really can apply to anything. And because Bitcoin is the really big hot topic of 2018, there's so many people who are investing to try to make money. And I think we're all a little bit guilty of the FOMO of, well, if we don't invest, maybe we're going to miss on all these gains. But the biggest reason why this could end up badly for some people is because we're thinking we're going to put money in and we're going to get money back or more money back, but we're not really thinking, are we actually creating any real value to whatever it is? Here's a big secret, is the people that are going to make the most or have already made the most from Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency are the people who gave value somehow. So the early investors, the people that bought Bitcoin when nobody heard about it or nobody cared about it, the people that were the evangelists saying all right, we're going to be the early adopters, we're going to help with the ledger, we're going to help just create the community, we're going to help popularize this. Those people are getting really rewarded nowadays because they believed in it 5+ years ago when Bitcoin was much cheaper than it is today. And the same is going to apply to all the ICOs that you see out there nowadays, the initial coin offerings, or to things like Ripple or Ethereum. If you are just investing, thinking, what is my ROI? In whatever it is, thinking there's might be, if I can buy this this new penny ICO for one cent, maybe it'll be worth millions one day. That is a very surefire way to take a big risk and possibly a big loss. Versus if we really believe in the use case of a new cryptocurrency that's coming out. For me personally, I really believe in Ethereum because I think it's a great building block for other things with cryptocurrency and the blockchain that really can help the world. So I've invested money in Ethereum, and so far I've been rewarded for it. And it's the same thing with other products that are coming out or have already come out, is if we actually think about how are we putting money or putting our time, our energy into something, and it doesn't even have to be money. It can literally be services, creating content, making products. I guarantee you the first person or team out there that creates a really easy way to securely buy and hold a cryptocurrency in a single place, in a single wallet, without having to move everything around and write something down on a paper wallet and then store it and then do all this. That person's going to make a ton of money because they're adding value and making the process easier. Whoever makes the first PayPal or Payoneer or online banking system to make it easier, that person's going to make a lot of money. So this is something that all of our speakers have in common. Regardless of what business they're in, they are offering positive ROI, whether it's with knowledge and sharing it, with creating services or creating products, or really whatever business model. The really wealthy people, are not only around you in this room, but also who have spoken today and the people that you follow, on TED Talks or on Bloomberg or whatever. Everybody's creating some kind of positive ROI, positive value. And that's not just, with them. It's literally, I've now interviewed over 180 people on my podcast, and every single person who's successful gives some kind of unique value, whether it's creating an e-commerce store to make it easier for someone to buy something, for it to ship to them sooner, to the person who created a course to teach others how to create their own e-commerce stores, to someone who started publishing paleo diet books or recipe books in the beginning when it was really hard to find paleo recipes, or to the person who started making custom bicycle wheels because he was an avid bicyclist and he wanted a better wheel, to Derek and Eric LaFlèche, who created the world's first travel pull-up bar. Literally every single person that I've interviewed and I'm showing is creating unique value in some way, some kind of positive ROI, and it's freaking amazing. There's so many possibilities nowadays. On the bottom left, we have 3 guests from Invest Like a Boss, which is my new podcast about exploring, what do I do with the money after I sold my e-commerce business and I want to invest and create that new streams of passive income. So we had on the CEOs of Fundrise, which is an online real estate company, kind of not that different from Maverick that Matt talked about. We've had on the CEO of Betterment and Wealthfront, which makes it really easy to buy low-cost index funds and save for retirement. Every single person that we've had speak today is creating positive value in some way. So here is actually how to do it. But before we get to it, because I don't want anyone to ever have any self-doubts that this is possible, let's think about if we did the polar opposite of these, what would happen? If we would make more money or less money? So ask yourself this: if I never invested in things that can give me positive ROI, whether it's reading books or paying for courses to learn more or coming to conferences like this, would I make more or less money? If I didn't create real value, if I didn't, or if I just didn't even start selling something, would I make more or less money? If I didn't put in the work first and it just spent all my time looking for reasons why something won't work, what's going to happen? Am I going to make more or less money? And maybe you are making a little bit of money, but if I don't outsource, I don't automate, I don't hire, are you going to be able to, and you don't scale, are you going to make more or less money? I know this is true because it's not only been applicable to my own life, but to literally now thousands of location-independent entrepreneurs and digital nomads that I've met really traveling the whole world now. Every single person I know, has gained something from a book that maybe changed your life. There's so many really successful people like Derek Pankow who just started at zero and took a course or took a couple courses and was like, okay, I'm just going to follow this and I'm going to do what they say because that person's already done all the work and I'm going to get to that first $10,000. And I hope that all of you guys here have, feels like you've gotten a positive ROI from attending this conference. Actually, I actually really am curious. So who here thinks that from all the talks and the networking that you've done today, you've gotten more than your 100 or 200 bucks worth for your ticket? Awesome. And it's not just you guys in this room. Even guys like Jay Kietsu, who's already sold $2 million worth of products, still paid a ton of money to go to a conference. And from what he learned at that conference, and I'm sure that conference was pretty expensive, it was probably a lot more than coming here, he was able to scale his business from $2 million in sales to over now $10 million in sales. That's positive ROI. Investing in yourself probably the best positive ROI you can ever make. And as Derek Pankow talked about, when you create a unique product that's really benefiting the world or people, and not just thinking, how can I take, and be able to just kind of get my share or my money, that's when we really get to that next level. So instead of selling things, and I'm not saying it's a bad idea to start selling like those cheap items on from AliExpress to Amazon or through Shopify or whatever it is. It's a fine way to start, but if we get stuck there, we will be stuck there, and eventually our income will drop because we're not creating any unique value. What we can do instead is we take the money that we've made from selling that product and also the lessons that we learned from creating that business, and we can take that and say, okay, how can I actually make an amazing product that will actually change the world or give more positive ROI? And a lot of it is just getting out of our own head and say, you know what, I'm just gonna do the work, because I guarantee you with every single business model that we've talked about today, every business model you'll hear anywhere in the world or you read about online, guarantee you every single one has its downsides. And if you look hard enough, and you don't even have to look that hard nowadays, you're gonna see so many possible downsides or negatives or people saying it doesn't work that you just never get started. And I've now met, and probably this is the saddest thing that I've come across in the last 4 years that I've been doing this. This is our 4th conference. Is not necessarily the people here, because you guys are the ones that are investing in yourself for the positive ROI, but the people that don't come, that complain on anonymous Reddit threads or in YouTube groups saying, oh, that's a ripoff. They raised the conference by $30 this year. All right, and those people, are like, I've been a digital nomad for 17 years, and the $99 is outrageous. And I'm like, if you've been a digital nomad for more than 2 years or even 2 months and you can't afford $100 to come meet amazing people and learn from the best of the best, like something is wrong. So stop, getting in your own heads. Stop getting stuck like we are all guilty of, including myself. And we gotta fucking scale this. Next year, I want this conference to be even bigger and even better. And every year we've grown. This is actually our biggest yet. We have over 400 people here from around the world. But guess what? I couldn't do it on my own. The only reason why we were able to scale it bigger and make it better this year is because I hired a team. I have Stephanie and Kara, my event organizers. I have Max, who does all the back end. I have James, who's the slide master. All right? If I had to do all this on my own, it would probably be a small conference that would never grow. While year after year, we've been growing and growing and growing and growing because I've taken myself out of the equation as much as possible. And you guys might have seen me just standing around eating, fruit tarts. I'm like, And that's allowed us to scale. So that is my kind of leaving remark is I don't want you guys to think about, oh, maybe I should do that, maybe I should scale, or maybe I should add a second stream of income. I actually want you guys to do it. And there's no reason why by this time next year, and hopefully all of you will be here again in 2019, because I would love to see you again. There is no reason why every single person can't have another stream of income. Do you guys, who here wants another stream of income? All right? There's zero reason. So wherever you guys are at, and a lot of this is for people who are, maybe are just starting out, list something. I don't care if you're just listing a service on Fiverr and you're thinking, oh, it's only, I only get paid, $5 and they take a service fee, so I only get $4 for doing blah, blah, blah. If you always find the excuse on why you shouldn't do something, you'll never be able to get to the next level and be able to scale. We had Steph Danforth, who is living in Chiang Mai. She started on Fiverr, and now she makes a few $1,000s a month from Fiverr. And more importantly, she's not the one designing logos anymore. she's outsourced and automated the whole thing. So she's literally created another stream of online income through something that just sells for $5 a gig. List a product on eBay or Shopify or on Amazon, and even though in the beginning it might be, just a little bit better than the 67-cent image that you saw on AliExpress, what that'll do is that'll give you the experience and the financial capital to be able to do that next big project or be able to create your own customer version of that product that really adds more value. So you can patent it, you can, get it in, and instead of having Amazon and Facebook not like you and skirting through on the gray zone, just kind of hoping they don't shut you down, they will start coming to you, like Derek talked about in his talk, and be able to get you to that next level where companies want you to sell for them. Or if you guys have something valuable to share, and I'm sure every single person here has something super valuable to share, put it online somewhere. Create a YouTube channel, write a blog, create a podcast, whatever it is, put your content out there, because by you giving value, sharing your experiences, sharing your lessons learned, sharing your knowledge, if it's valuable, you will get rewarded for it. And that's probably the best thing that I ever did, is when I started my journey, I wrote it all down. And unfortunately, a lot of it was embarrassing, because I'm a very different person I am today in 2018 than I was in 1999 or in 2005, because I've learned and grown so much. But by me sharing that journey and having people follow along and see me grow, they're like, man, if this babbling idiot can do this, even after getting punched in the head for 2 years straight, why can't I do it? And the last is, if you have a business already, you have some great skills, you have a great product, but you're stuck doing the work yourself or not scaling up to the millions or maybe even multi-millions, get yourself out of it. Get yourself out of that picture. You got to figure out how you can automate it or scale it and remove yourself, because I guarantee once you're at that point, if you remove yourself, life kind of just naturally flows. So promise me, everyone, you will add one additional stream of income by this time next year, and I will personally check you guys on that. All right? And I started this podcast, Travel Like a Boss, right here in Chiang Mai 4 years ago, because I saw the value in the conversations I was having with people just like you who are traveling through, who are running online businesses, and I thought, I would love to be able to share this with everybody in the world. People who are listening at home, working in their cubicle or driving in traffic to and from work and just not enjoying their life. If these conversations are so valuable that I just need to share it. And I know it's made a positive impact, because I've literally met people who have come up to me and say, hey, I've been listening to your podcast for years and years, and it's helped me do X, Y, Z. Who here actually listens to the podcast? Woo! Thank you, guys. And it has rewarded me handsomely. Not only do I make money from podcast sponsorships, but in just the network I've created and the knowledge I personally gained by having an excuse to approach really big name people who are really ahead of me and just sitting down with them for an hour and saying, what do you actually do to make money, or how do you scale it up, and finding kind of the tips and secrets from them. That has grown my business and my income way more than the $500 I get from a sponsor on the podcast. That is what has gotten me from my goal of $30,000 to now being halfway to being my next goal of having US $1 million and not a Thai million baht. And what's even more amazing is by giving that value and having the skill and being able to just put it out there, I had Sam Marks, who spoke 2 years ago here at the Nomad Summit, who sold his company for close to $100 million, actually approached me and say, hey, Johnny, I'm thinking about starting a podcast, and I know you're experienced with it. Do you want to do something together? And I was like, hell yeah. Because as we all know, your network is your net worth. And I know that for a fact. And I knew this from a long time ago when someone said, did you know that if you add up the income or the net worth of the 5 people that you spend the most amount of time with, and you average it out, it is going to be what you make. And at first I didn't believe it, did the math, guess what? It was spot on. And as a thought exercise, when you guys get home, I want you to really think about who you are spending your time with, who's in your immediate network, how much money they're making or what their net worth is, what they're doing, and you'll figure out really quickly that that is either why you're very successful or that you're not. And by me starting this podcast with him and giving value, and not even in terms of being able to make a lot of money, because to some of you, you might be thinking, oh, Johnny makes $10,000, $20,000 a month. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of value. But to someone who's worth over $10 million, like I'm broke. Like he would probably take me up on it if he said, oh, I'll give you $150 if you let me elbow you in the face, just because he can. He's like, oh, I'll give you $1,000 you let me elbow you in the face. And not only has it exposed me, giving me an excuse to talk to him every single week and build a business with him, it's also given me the ability to network and get in with the CEOs of these big multi-million-dollar companies and be able to talk to the best of the best. So that is my new journey. My new podcast is called Invest Like a Boss. And I know not every single one of you is at that point yet where you're investing in real estate or index funds or thinking about retirement, but it is the best stream of passive income. I promise you. When your money is making you money and you don't have to physically work for it, what you're doing is you are providing value into whatever company you're investing in or that real estate property you're investing in, and that is why you're rewarded. When you spend money with Maverick and you buy a turnkey rental property, what that's allowing you to do is that's allowing a builder to buy a dilapidated, really terrible house that is unsuitable to live in, where nobody really wants to live in, and allows them to have the money and the capital to remodel it, make it nicer, and then find a tenant who's going to be safe and happy living. And really, not gentrify, because sometimes that's a bad word, but really just make a neighborhood better. This is how Detroit is going to be rebuilt, is by people investing and rebuilding and remodeling and putting new tenants in and making Detroit a better place. And this is what we can do with our money by investing in things that we really believe in, and we will get rewarded for it. So if you guys want to know more, check out the podcast, Travel Like a Boss, Invest Like a Boss, or my blog, Johnny FD. Thanks. And with that, I want to invite on my co-organizers for this year. We have Kara J. Matthews and Stephanie Simon. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you. And behind the scenes, who you might not have seen, is Max, who is the puppet master back there, making this all happen. You guys want to say anything to the crowd?
So, who wants a free beer? Anyone? Should we do that again? Can I get a really big cheer, please? So the first 30 free beers are on us tonight. So come meet us at the rooftop of Maya, and yep, they're on us. And also, we'd love to speak to you, and we want to hear your feedback, the good and the bad, because Steph and I will be putting on more events this year. 7:55. Yeah, so come introduce yourselves. We really want to meet you, and yeah.
Great. Hello, everyone. So thank you so much for a wonderful event. Oh my God, I am so happy that everything went amazing, beyond my expectations. I'm pretty sure I lost a few years off my life because of badges this morning, but it totally made up for it with all the wonderful things that happened today, so I'm very excited. I want to talk a little bit about the pool party tomorrow. So who's planning on coming to the party tomorrow? Yes! cool. Man, Barista is not going to know what to do. They're going to be like, whoa, that is a lot of people. So you guys are going to have to actually get in the pool. But it's very, very exciting. We have some special drink menus that we designed specifically for you guys. Like we have a drink called Office on the Beach. So not that that's any less cool than Sex on the Beach. I mean, they're both great. But anyways, so we got that. And we also have a surprise guest musical performer coming in to perform for you guys tomorrow. So be sure you check this person out. They're awesome. It's not Johnny. Yeah, and not that you wouldn't be great, Johnny. I'm sure you do a mad karaoke. I'm sure it's really good. I'm sure you're good. But anyways, so that I wanted to talk about that. And the other thing is I just wanted to like reiterate what Kara was saying. Like, please, this was, we just launched an events company and we're planning on putting on a lot of events this year. And this was our first big summit. So please come and give us feedback. Let us know how we did and what you liked or anything that we can improve on. And also, talk to us because we have some really cool stuff happening this year. So if you are someone that is looking to do public speaking or anything like that, definitely come chat with us. So.
And I want to give these two a big round of applause because they made the summit so much easier to organize. And actually, so we'll be sending you guys a survey through email about how we can make this event even bigger and better every single year. So please take the time to fill that out. And part of the reason why it was so smooth this year and we were actually ran on time, which is amazing, which I think Mike said out of hundreds of events he's done, he never sees anything actually start on time. It's because of Max in the back end. So big thank you, Max.
Just want to thank everyone for coming, and it's only possible with the help of a lot of people. Just to name a few, like Steve, David, Phil, Mary, James, so my wife Anne, the video crew Dil and Raymond, MC, there's James over there, he's controlling all the slides. James Poe is over the controller, and thank you everyone. It's made possible by everyone.
And on that note, I also want to thank our lovely volunteers who came in and helped out. They were absolutely fantastic, so thank you so much.
And I'm also a volunteer, so I'm going to thank myself, because nobody else did. Thanks. I'm only half kidding.
Well, I was trying to, but my mic wasn't working. But seriously, Luke, you've been amazing. Even though you're a grumpy old British guy.
I'm not that old yet.
I know. Not yet. And I want a big thank you to all the volunteers. You guys and gals have been amazing to help out. And this community, this Nomad Summit, our tagline is for digital nomads, by digital nomads. And if it wasn't for the help of all of you, there's no way this would have been possible. So big thank you. And actually, at this time, I would love to get all the speakers on stage as well. Please come on up, because without you, there would be no summit. It would just be me talking. It wouldn't be Nomad Summit. It would be Johnny talks for 8 hours. So I'm so thankful that all these people, some of them flew in from Chicago, New York, Iowa, and from Bali, and some of you drove all the way here from Neiman to come speak. So I am so thankful and so happy for them. And also, I don't want you guys to go unnoticed. The people behind the camera, behind the lens, I know you guys can't come up right now because you're taking photos and video. James Denon, who is our slide master behind the scene, thank you so much, because without all of you, there'd be no memories and no way to capture this and be able to share it with all the people at home on YouTube. That being said, if you guys want to share these videos, we're actually putting the full talks on YouTube for free, thanks to our sponsors, Payoneer, Coworker, and Empire Flippers. We're able to hire professional photographers, professional film crew, professional audio guys, and be able to edit and put all these photos and videos online for free for everyone who couldn't make it out here, so they can learn everything that you guys have learned this past day. So if you guys want those videos for free, make sure you're subscribed to our email list on nomadsummit.com, and we'll send those out as soon as they come. And what do you think about yeah, including Shane. No, not Shane. Sean. Not Shane, buddy. But thank you to Shane, too, for volunteering. Sean Dalton, thank you, but literally all of you. I think this is a good time for not only a photo op, right? What do you think? But last but not least, I want to acknowledge every single one of you for being here. Because without the summit, it'd be the 8 of us talking in an empty room for 8 hours. So big thank you. Give yourselves a pat on the back. And I want to make sure you guys are in this photo as well. So can all of us actually face this way, or should we be down there and then have you up here taking the photo down so you can get everyone in the back? Can we get all the photographers and videographers on stage? So stay up here. So I want all of you guys to be in this group photo, because this is a family. This is our 4th Nomad Summit, and this is the best one yet because you guys are here. So thank you.
Are we going this way?
Yeah. So where is the photographer? Okay, there you go. He's putting on the wide angle lens. Is this okay, or should we go down there? Might want to take the lens cap off.
Yeah, should maybe try taking a knee.
Yeah, let's take a knee.
Let's take a knee, guys. Should they stand up?
Yeah, everyone stand up.
Everybody stand up, guys.
Ready?
You guys are amazing. Make some noise. Nomad Summit 2018. Thank all of you for coming. Meet us at the after party. Grab some quick food. 755 Maya Rooftop. And if any of you guys actually want to come up and take photos with any of us or with the banner, please come up now. We would love to have you. Little bit of music, please.